terrible day for Arsenal, that's for sure. It's Leeds v Chelsea, Man City v Southampton in the semi-finals. Ray, what happened?
Do you know what? I've got to give... People always talk about Arsenal. I've got to give Southampton credit for the first, because they went there, they defended for their lives, they was fighting their body, especially in that first half. I mean, there's some great blocks from the Southampton defence. The keeper was on top. They was pushing Arsenal, but it just didn't really look like scoring in that first half. Look, rotation of the team doesn't help sometimes when players are coming in when they haven't played too much football. Jesus coming in and other players who didn't really do enough for me.
Yeah.
But look, at the start of the season, I know people talking about quadruple. That's never going to happen. You know,
No, quad, no.
If you're being realistic, no chance. Something's going to happen in a cup where you're going to get knocked out or whatever. And I said at the start of the season, if they said one trophy and you can win that Premier League, it's a great season. So they've still got every chance. But
so you're not disappointed that that everyone's talking. I know the quad. You say right, but
it was never going to happen.
The manner of going out though in the FA Cup.
Well, I think the League Cup wasn't great. I mean, the second half against Man City, when you're playing your rivals, you've got psychologically it can be a nightmare if they get one over on you. And look at Man City the weekend. They seem to have got something out of that cup final now, because they was brilliant against Liverpool. So now they'll be trying to push on and see if Arsenal can make more mistakes. But if you're in that squad of players, you can't feel sorry for yourself. I mean, I don't know what the squad is. I'm not in that dressing room at the moment, but we went for a similar sort of thing to this team in 2004 when we lost to Man United in the FA Cup. We lost to Chelsea, Wayne Bridge at Highbury.
Yeah.
And then we was playing Liverpool at the weekend, and we was 2-1 down half time. And it's suddenly a week. And it could be a disaster for you. But you've got to roll your sleeves up. At half-time, a few of the players had to go at each other.
Yeah.
I said, come on, don't feel sorry for yourselves. We got to sort this out ourselves. Yeah. And then Henry was unbelievable second half and scored a hat-trick, and we won 4-2 in the end.
Right.
And that was a turnaround again.
Yeah.
So now it's all about Tuesday, tomorrow night against Sporting, which ain't an easy game now, away from home.
Do you think it's the leaders in the group then that need to get together and say, right, come on, boys?
Yeah, absolutely. People like Gabriel, Declan, all those sort of guys have got to say, look, come on, we're in a great position still. And it could all go quickly wrong. There's no doubt about that. And I've said that all season. So I was never the one to say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, because I know how football can change very quickly. And as you can see, a couple of defeats, all the belief goes down, the confidence goes down, and it's up to the players now to sort it out. It's not always down to the manager. You've got to sit in that dressing room and say, come on, get people by the scruff of the neck and say, this next game's vital for us. Yeah. Sporting, not to lose the game, but if we can get a win out in Lisbon, puts us in a great position again. And Bournemouth at the weekend at home, which is never an easy game, Bournemouth.
I think you'll be all right. Your home games, I feel like you're...
Yeah, I think they'll have enough still to do it, and I think they can go to the Etihad and maybe get a draw there.
If you get beat by Sporting Lisbon, though, that is...
Oh, there'd be alarm bells.
Yeah, now...
And you know what the press are like, and... Look, we're going to sit on this programme and talk about it.
Yeah.
They want to bring
I'll have the
people
mask
down.
Out. The mask will be coming out.
I thought you'd have it on by now.
No, he's coming. Don't worry, Ray.
I'll leave off.
It's coming.
We're not in a numpty bar, as Alan would call it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, there is concerns. There's no doubt about that. But it's up to the team now to get a bit of composure. So, right, OK, we've had a couple of knockbacks. But the good teams would always come back. And now they've got to show their mettle. They've got to show their little bit of spirit. They've got to show what they've done so far in the season has been superb. I know the last two games haven't. But where they are in the Champions League and the league situation, it's still been a good season so far. But they can still blow it.
Yeah.
And if they did blow it, I'm sure the press will have a field day.
Oh,
I'm sure.
I mean...
You'll have mask on for the rest of your life, Jack.
Oh, I'll be wearing it all summer, mate. All summer. When I'm not going to bat the London club, not going to bat... O Beach,
it's a great weekend for Tottenham fans because, there's a little bit of a lift for you, hopefully, with De Zerbi coming in and West Ham going out and Arsenal going out.
Yeah, it's a great weekend.
When you don't play...
We didn't play.
When you don't play, you have a great weekend.
Yeah, so we've all got to deal with it next year. I'm going to talk to you about De Zerbi, actually, a little bit later on in the show. But let's hear from Mikel Arteta as we're speaking to talkSPORT's Alex Crook after they lost to Southampton.
What does it mean in terms of the bigger picture? Obviously losing at Wembley in the Cup final, now being knocked out of the FA Cup, suddenly from talking about 4 trophies, potentially it's down to 2.
This is the reality. When you are there and you are so close, you win it or not. And now is the moment to show what we are made of. When you win, it's easy for us, for our supporters, for everybody. Is now the moment that we have to show.
Yeah, as he said, it's easy when you're winning. But now, obviously, they come into a tough part of the season. And listen, let's not get away from the fact that they've crumbled a few times under Arteta. Do you think that he's got the minerals to get it over the line?
Well, people got to learn from their mistakes from different seasons, haven't they? And they have come second, they have crumbled a bit, and they've got to learn from doing that. There's no doubt Man City have got so many players who've been there and done it, and it does help. It does help the young players as well. When you've got experience, you've won trophies. When I got into the team and we started winning trophies, I was looking up to people like Tony Edwards, Lee Dixon, Bold, Seaman. They've all won trophies. Yeah. And they would help you along the way. So Arsenal have not got that in their ranks with winning the trophy together. Yeah. But it's all about the next game. You know, you can't worry about Southampton now. You've got to get back to the training ground. You probably have a meeting about what happened, what went wrong, what your performance was.
What was Arsene Wenger like? See, like when you was in this stage of the season, would he do anything different? Was there, like, if things weren't going as well as they should have been? Yeah. Was there like little things that maybe he'd done or? No,
not really. I mean, he kept it simple. Wenger. And the good thing about Wenger was, you know, even in big games like the FA Cup finals and whatever, he always tried to keep you like the same. You do exactly the same as you're playing someone at the bottom of the table. Yeah. In the league. Now, nothing would be different. You wouldn't go away for a hotel 2 days instead of 1 and all that sort of stuff. So you try and keep your pressure off you and try and just to say, look, it's another game. I know it's a big game, but just try and approach it exactly what you would do in any other game. And I think that sometimes take the pressure off you because sometimes you can overthink games, can't you? Yeah. You know what I mean? You go to a big game, you think, oh, it's a big game, must be a big game.
I think Spurs done that when we played against Nottingham Forest, right? With the whole... the fan thing and all that, you can overdo it.
Absolutely. Right? You can think about it too much.
And you put too much pressure on the game.
Exactly. So that's what he tried to do, Wenger. But now, look, they just got to get focused. They can't change the result against Man City. They can't change the result against Southampton. It's all about the next one. But most Arsenal fans will be a little bit worried. There's no doubt about that because of the performances and the way they've gone out. But now it's all about Sporting Lisbon. And they've got to go out to Lisbon and put a performance on that suddenly Arsenal fans can think, well, maybe they're back at it now, and that's the next game's the most important one always when you lose. Yeah. We asked Arsenal loudmouth Piers Morgan if he wanted to come on this morning, and Piers won't be coming on today. Though.
Yeah, he replied. He said, "I'd rather shoot myself." If you look, that's the message. Piers. They messaged him last night, and poor old Piers didn't fancy it. So we're going to try and get him on though. We're going to barrage him with messages to see if he'll come and speak up over Arsenal because he's been giving it the big un all season, saying this and that. But it looks like they are. Do you think if they get knocked out of the Champions League against Sporting, but they do win the Premier League, you're saying that's a great season?
Definitely. I think that's the hardest one to win the Premier League because it's most consistent team throughout the season. We all know that the league is so hard. Every single game's a battle, if you like. And if you play the bottom side, you can't rest players because people turn you over. So I always say the Premier League's the hardest one, but Champions League, they've never won it. So that'd be a great trophy as well. And I'm not just saying it because we're knocked out, but if you're going to get knocked out of trophies or not win it, it's League Cup and the FA Cup's probably the ones to get knocked out. Yeah. But if they don't win anything, then it's probably a disastrous season. Yeah. Because of the position they've been in at this stage of the season. And
if they don't win anything,
then that'd be a disaster. I'm not going to sit and say, but it'd be okay. I don't think he'll lose his job, Arteta.
What?
He wouldn't lose his job.
If they don't win,
no, because who would you bring in?
Oh, Ray, come on.
No.
Ray, if he doesn't win a trophy this season, he's gone.
I'm looking at realistically, who would you bring in for Arteta who could do a similar sort of job? I don't know. There's many managers out there. Alonso, he might be going to Liverpool. I should imagine he'd be going to Liverpool. Who else out there? I don't know. You lost Enrique, someone like that. I don't know if he would go. Why would you leave PSG?
I would be amazed if Arsenal lose it all. There's no way I can see Arteta.
I can't see a better manager though, who could do a better job.
What are you talking about?
Who would you have then?
Arsenal. You could go and attract a top manager.
Like who?
I don't know. Pochettino, anyone. I'm just putting it out there. Ancelotti after the World Cup. We're talking about Arsenal here who are primed to win. Well, they were primed to win everything. If they don't win nothing,
I don't think.
I'd be amazed if Arteta.
Well, did you sign a new contract?
What's that mean?
He signed a new contract there, so they've got the faith in him, Arteta. They've got the faith in him, and there's going to be a lot of work done in the summer. There's no doubt about it, because he's got a lot of dead wood there. He needs to get rid of quite a few players, if I'm being honest. But I think the owners.
And what about Zidane?
Zidane? Yeah, well, can he do it in the Premier League? I don't know. I mean, you're guessing.
Arteta has it. If you don't win it,
you're guessing he can do it. I think Arteta is still. It's how you lose it sometimes as well. So look, there's a long way to go, but I really believe he'll be there next season if they didn't win anything.
Regardless.
Yeah. Look, it's a big decision they have to make, but I really do believe that they look at it and say, who's out there? And they look at other clubs as well and say, how many times they've changed their managers? And you know what it's like. You can have this big name, but it might not work still. Spurs have had loads of big managers, haven't they?
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho, Conte.
Yeah.
It's not always worked.
No.
You're not guaranteed to work. So I don't know. I'm hoping that ain't the scenario anyway. But
yeah, we'll see.
It's a situation we'll have to see at the end of the season, and that's why football's such a great sport to watch, because the underdogs and all that sort of stuff. Southampton fans, imagine what their night was like after winning that. It was rocking at the St Mary's. I was watching on TV at home. I could sense.
Yeah, it's a great night.
Southampton fan, and that's what it's all about. There's doom and gloomy last year, wasn't he?
Well, this season as well. They was having a nightmare.
So it just shows you how quickly football can change for you.